beautiful divine masculine and feminine darlings. This is this the Seraph Emjim Gypsy, Seraph A Indigo Empress, and Shiloh Horizon. So we're going to jump right into this reading. I noticed there was another plagiarizer. This person's stuff was popping up in my recommended feed because they've been stalking my feed so much and then copying my content. So the algorithm kicked it back into my face to rat them out, as well as the holy angels and God. I was answering a prayer. I prayed last week for anything like this to be exposed, and one after the next they have been, as you see over the course of this last couple of weeks. Maybe 2 weeks ago I prayed. 1:11, and it started the exposure the very same afternoon. And so I was just on the yoga mat, and one of the holy angels was mentioning something, and they said, you need to go make sure that plagiarizer's account is blocked. So I went to block her, make sure her account was properly, thoroughly blocked. And as it turns out, she had just made a post last night, continued posting, saying that her last upload was mysteriously deleted. She blamed it on her child. She said the baby got a hold of her phone and deleted the post, which conveniently means that although I left her name out of it, the screen grab that I posted yesterday saying, hey, God told me not to let this girl chase clout off of my name, so I've removed her name from this post. But here, while I was asleep after calling this out last night, she decided to keep posting and plagiarizing. So here's a little screen grab of the last video that she posted while I was sleeping. And I ended up getting a dream about a couple of things revolving this, including yesterday some water spirit energy as well, which we'll get into later, because it does cross over. I might wait for the next reading for that, in fact. But however, the screen grab I posted had the title of her last video in it. And now, according to this post I just stumbled across while blocking her account, that's the exact video that accidentally got deleted, meaning that if somebody were to go to try to back search her video to find who was plagiarizing me by searching the title, well, they can't do that anymore because she's deleted the video. So she thinks that that will save her. She thinks that if nobody can back search the title of the video I shared yesterday, then nobody will be able to find her account, and therefore nobody will be able to know that she's stealing and copying. But now that, especially, I know that she's taking extra steps as a cover-up and then also trying to blame innocent children about it, yeah, that's a heck to the no. Now it's absolutely going to be addressed. There's no getting away with it. I see what you're doing, ma'am. Pathetic. So let's see, shall we? And she says, you're going to ruin my business. Oh, you don't have a business. You have plagiarism. You have criminal behavior. No, I have children. I have children too. You don't have your children. Mine are being held hostage by toxic, abusive people. So stealing from another mother, especially at the expense of that child, stealing from a mother who would, with those proper resources, be able to properly further protect that child, yeah, that's foul. And so don't sit there and claim to be a divine feminine or try to promote yourself as a good woman or a mother. No, that's a grifter scheme. You know what that looks like to me? And to anybody else from the outside looking in at you now? Those types of predatory guys who go around with puppies or they'll borrow their sister's kids so that they can go pick up chicks at the park or lure kids away from the playground. You're being a creep. I wouldn't leave my child with you. I think you probably need a visit from CPS from what it sounds like. You're weird. Cut it out. Mediator. Yeah, see? That was not the best option for you. I'm trying to play cover-ups. Let's see. Also, let's pull out an evil eye deck. If I'm wrong, God, no, I'm not. See, I told you, water spirits. Not a mermaid, though. Siren, a manipulative little twat who tries to lure people with a false persona. Tries to sit there and make herself sound really pretty and soft. I also noticed the lingerie photos and imagery that was taken down that I called out for Jezebel energy. Yeah, well, that suddenly has disappeared too. But again, I still have the screenshot, so all that you have done is show that you're trying to conceal evidence. And now, since there are before and afters, I have evidence of your attempt at concealment. Girl, that's tampering with evidence. And then attempt at obstruction of justice. Look, see, I split the deck. You got hindering. I just saw hindrance. Siren, somebody trying to be sneaky and manipulative to dodge any kind of accountability. Which is why there is no wealth or success coming from this. And there's no escape. Crossroads in reverse. There's no turning. Yeah, because you tried to steal from somebody. You tried to step on someone else's birthright, and that's a no-no. Well, I have kids, and you're trying to step on someone else's birthright, not just mine, my child's as well. Step aside. Thanks. And I don't have to sit there and pretend to be soft in order to get my point across, man. You're fake. And it's nasty. You're not giving Little Mermaid, you're giving Ursula the Sea Witch. Just like the one after you, which we'll get into maybe tomorrow. Okay, let's see, shall we? What about the karma for these people? And then let's do any other subsequent energies, what they're jealous of. Thank you. Thanks. Oh, goodness. Also, root, crown, and core energies. Thanks. Before I came here, I also, about 2 p.m. here on the East Coast, it's 3:15 now, I picked up some spell work. It's coming from a local energy, this occult energy. In fact, it's the local energy that's been sending chaos magic, conflict spells, so black magic, and all these other little plagiarizers. They just happen to be on the same demonic radio station frequency. They just we're on the same demon time. And as a result, when the locals here sent that energetic dark magic, since these people were already tuned into their frequency, embodying their same zodiac signs and or personality behaviors, personality and behavioral patterns on the toxic side, rather, they just basically accepted the mission, right? They just picked up on it and answered the call. It's like the locals here were calling for any dark karmic people, anybody low vibrational enough to be vessels for the devil to try to target, and they picked up on it and either were already in that energy or were easily influenced and just ran with it the second they got the impulse, like the little demons and the minions of the devil that they are. They tried to do this to a good person. That's a no. Jellyfish sting, you know. They just mind their business and they float and they seem pretty harmless, right? They just kind of chill out there until you go too close, and then they have defense mechanisms. But they're very flexible, you see. Yeah, see? these fake people got exposed. They wanted so badly to be loved that they tried to copy and step on other people. But while they tried to present themselves as these lovely, divine feminine women, who people are really seeing them as are these creatures they tried to hide under taffeta. That's what I'm hearing. To be ball gowns with their peasants. 1022. Okay, let's do that evil eye deck as well. Thank you. Do some more. Whoa, that's a lot. Sorry. Let's do the karma. Okay, and the surrounding energies. Whoa. Okay. Organize these a little bit. And then what about the stop, root, crown, core? We'll do another core. Thank you. All right, let's put these back. Thank you. Alcohol. Some of these people may be on substance, using substances, drugs, or alcohol. I'm not talking about cannabis, especially medical cannabis. Alrighty. So first and foremost, the energy of this person. Somebody says, did you take screenshots of the before and after? Yes. And how she tried to blame it on her child. Like, who does that? That's like trying to blame it on the dog, girl. Get a grip. Get a couple. Speaking of, she tried to blame it on the child. And because now she's trying to play the victim or cover it up, and she continued to post instead of just no longer pretending to be a psychic because she's been caught doing it and copying. She deleted the post where she got called out for copying, for being fake. So nobody could back search the title of the screenshot again, and then nobody could find her account. This is what I'm picking up, is what she was thinking. And made a whole excuse about it, blamed her child in the community board, and then continued to make new videos to post as if nothing happened, as if... And if I hadn't followed the Archangel's advice to go make sure I hadn't accidentally forgotten to block her account after discovering this and documenting it when I did, I wouldn't have noticed, because I'd already repeatedly tried to tell the algorithm to stop sending me her content. But you see, God saw that and has other plans. So, ma'am, she's also claiming to be in her about me like a spiritual warrior and like a high priestess or a healer, and divine masculine says, so basically you, yep. Trying to masquerade herself behind a child for, yep. And then blame a child. No, ma'am, you're a Jezebel. Thought. With a capital T. For the streets. Yeah. Divine Masculine says she's not going to get away with it. No. Because this is not even between she and I. This is between her and God. She's going to be sick. God's going to cut you down, and there's nothing she can do about it. She might not get out of it. It says brief illness. It's in reverse. This might be permanent. This might take her out. And then what is that child going to do? I hear go to a better person, a better parent. Well, good. Maybe this baby will be adopted. You know what? Also, she named her child Akasha, and so she's trying to name her children after the concept of the Akashic records, which is a reference of where past life memories and things are tied to. I read those. So that's bull, crap, garbage. Her handle also has stuff in it like love and goddess or goddess of love, and oh, she's not. She's a liar and a fraud. A fake and a phony. So let's see. Yeah, see, look. 3:22 here on the clock on the East Coast. That's my twin flame number, 22. She's mad. Big mad. So sad. Boo hoo. Wah wah. Get a grip. Get a couple. Like I said before. You're not a coworker. Somebody who wanted to try to compete where they never compared and is trying to stick their foot into a hi baby. A pool of water that is not for them. This is like a land mammal trying to be a dolphin, except it doesn't know how to swim. Otherwise, it wouldn't be trying to, well, wear my skin. Bitch, you're not a Silky. 1555. And so this is somebody either who has dark attachments to them, on them. This is somebody who has dark shadows, dark energies, dark entities, or demon energies around them, or they've been trying to call on those to send them to other people. But either way, whether they started with this person or not, well, if they're calling on them, they did. But either way, because they're in this dark energy, they called these dark energies to them, or they're embodying that frequency. And so they're basically being haunted and harvested on. You see, the thing about these karmics is they don't have holy angels and light ancestors like we do. You know how narcissists gang up on light workers together, but then they also flip on each other? They're called blue falcons in the military. People who claim to be a team, but then they'll flip on each other if there's something in it for them. Meaning they'll stab their own teammates in the back. Which is the opposite of what you're supposed to do in the military. By the way, the credo is no man left behind, not let's cut each other's throats when it's convenient. That's why there's something called honorable or dishonorable discharge. Thank you. Welcome to my TED Talk. You think this is funny? I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. Bought a new car thinking it would add length. You get nothing in the bank. Who are you? Is the title of the song. It's by Khaled. So they don't have angels. And just, by the way, in every realm there are dark and light beings, whether that be the Fae and the, conceptually speaking, the Jinn, or the angels, or anything else. Really. But the same way that narcissists flip on each other, they don't have holy beings supporting them. They have shadow spirits. The same dark forces that they try to use against other people really are influencing them. They don't even realize they're just puppets. They're the weak links. They think they're strong because they're bullying and trying to gang up on people and calling on demonic forces or being influenced by demonic forces to monopolize people. But they're the weak links because it's not that those same forces weren't trying to come to us, through us that way. It's that we wouldn't let them. These people weren't strong enough to oppose those energies. And so that's the thing, is when it can't, that's why the devil tries to combat light workers and attack us. If it can't move through you, then it tries to attack you. If it can't get to you through the people that you're surrounded by, that you care for, and if it can't use the people around you to attack you, then it tries to attack them too for being an ally to the light. It doesn't mean that people should submit. That's weak. They're the weak links, and it does fall. Anything the devil promises is false. It's like it wanted to be God. It claims it can give promises as if it's God, but they're lies. The devil is a liar. And that's, in fact, the people who believe the devil was once an angel, God's most favorite angel that got kicked out of heaven at that, that's precisely why. It was not doing its job, it was being a bully, it was being manipulative and lying, and it wanted to claim the title of God when it's not. Everything it's still trying to do is what it got kicked out for. It couldn't govern the holy realm or the angels. And so it got booted to the hell realm. And what it was reduced to is trying to manipulate humans who are weak enough to fall for it. I am not. But the people doing the copycat thing and being little vessels for the devil and picking up on the chaos magic and conflict spells, yeah, they already were. I'd say, you know, if somebody told you to jump off of a bridge, would you do it? But based on observation, I'd say you already did. Next. So back to the Blue Falcons. When these people don't have angels, they're dark forces moving around them, through them, influencing them. Now, they're stuck with the consequences for letting their free will choice be to submit to this energy instead of have the strength and willpower and discipline to oppose it and be better. But the same way that when narcissists are done targeting a victim or they get caught doing it, and let's say they all start getting in trouble, let's say you got a group of criminals working together and one of them or a bunch of them get hauled into the police station, and the first one to flip on the rest of them will get a reduced sentence, right? They do it, don't they? Say somebody, one of these plagiarizers watching me is giving hood rat energy, and so they seem to understand exactly this analogy that's coming out. That's probably why it's coming out, but here you go. And so in this case, just like that, when there's nothing in it for them anymore, and eventually there's not, every time, or when there's something in it for them more, when there's more incentive to flip on the rest of them, then they do it. So they think they're targeting us, but they end up targeting each other. And that's exactly what the devil's doing to them too, and they don't even realize it. They're just being used. They're letting it happen. It's a free will choice. They could oppose it. They're choosing not to. It's easier to give in to those low vibrational, lust-based, impulsive tendencies. 2234. These are people who've been trying to send crown chakra attacks, but their crown chakras are blocked. It's not working. I also told you I picked up the dream prophecy energy, especially about the water spirits. There also is a big emphasis on earth sign energy in regards to one of the people who's been locally involved with sending those chaos conflict spells that these others have been picking up on too. So it doesn't surprise me when they also, these plagiarizing people who pick up on it and run with that energy, also embody earth signs in their chart. But one of them here sending that energy, the call they picked up on, yeah. See, that's a crown chakra attack. This is what they wanted for others. It's not working. But I would say that that's what they are ending up with, or they will end up with. A illness, except it's not brief anymore, came back, and that's why. But cycles of bad luck. It's not just that they just don't feel good. It's not that they're just having bad luck. It's that their karma's coming back. And instead of, I see it every time, instead of when they're called out for stealing and plagiarizing, when they're called out for trying to run around and pretend to be psychics when they're not, when they're caught trying to play in a field that is not for them, that they're not equipped to be in, that is not a mesh for them, they start catching karma. And they think it's just bad luck when they're called out for it. They try to cover it up or double down or attack the person calling them out, but all of those choices are wrong. The only option, because this is why God is exposing them, is for them to stop. That is what God wants. And if they do not want to stop, God will make them, is making them Somebody says, how? I picked up this morning that this is a slightly different situation, but it could be the same in this case, and it could cross over in some. This illness, it doesn't have to be with illnesses, but it could be, is that these people, instead of having the time to steal from people or copy people or attack people or put all this time and energy and investing in trying to step on people's toes and take their place and whatever the case may be, their karma is going to crank up. And so they're going to be so busy trying to handle that, deal with that, whether it be their health starts to go down the toilet or their money starts to go wonky or whatever it is. They're going to be so busy, possibly stressed out dealing with that as karma for not just listening and stopping and minding their business, that they don't have a choice, right? They were called out and they were told as a warning to stop, and they didn't. It's bad enough if they didn't stop. It's bad enough if they tried to cover it up. It's even worse when they try to attack people for calling them out, especially when it's in a case like this where I'm standing here as the messenger. I mean, I've been called for multiple days to get ready to do this. I had to take a day and prepare for this. Put the time and energy into this reading, all right? And frankly, I would rather be elsewhere doing other things. I would rather be reading on other things. I have other things and projects I would like to be doing. I will be finishing up pretty quickly shortly after this, but God said, no, you have to take the time to address this, because this isn't just affecting you, this is affecting other people too. People that you care for, people that you help. This is affecting a lot of people, so it needs to be addressed. So it is. And they're being cleansed out. And I did a whole session to cleanse the energy first before coming here, because there's a karmic female trying to cause problems. Who's, look, trying to compete because she's envious of my career. She doesn't have protection, but you know what? I have got a whole plethora of crystals I was called to pick out today. This is phosphiterite, merlinite, not mystic merlinite. That's different. Mystic merlinite is not merlinite. Merlinite is dendritic opal. Mystic merlinite is indigo gabbro. They're two entirely separate rock compositions. 2722. Mystic merlinite's just the name that some guy gave indigo gabbro. I don't know why he did that. Thought he was going to be fancy and cool and unique, but really what it did was just confuse people between what the difference between the two is, or that there is a difference. Plenty of people think they're buying merlinite when they're actually buying indigo gabbro, either because they don't know the difference, or the seller either doesn't know the difference or hopes that other people don't know the difference. And the reason for this is because merlinite is much more expensive and more hard to come by, comparatively speaking, than indigo gabbro. It's not as expensive. So if you're selling a higher value stone like merlinite, but it's not really merlinite, it's indigo gabbro, then you're selling a less expensive crystal for a much higher price because you're putting a title on it that doesn't actually fit it. And it's not right. That's not right. I've seen people do it on accident, but it wouldn't surprise me if people did it to try to grift from others. Anyway, this one is, oh, you also have Charoite here. And then this one is Smithsonite. Often Smithsonite is like turquoise-ish, but this is not. This is a different, it's like lavender purple Smithsonite. Then you've got the Siberian jet obsidian. Interesting story about the Charoite. I mentioned that in one of the other plagiarizer videos because Mr. Tony Sohns, who is my best friend and my business partner, I asked him to pick up a pie stone for me, and he ended up finding one in Charoite when he was at a gem show for me. But he ended up sleeping with it for a little bit. He just had it in his travels with him on the way back, and he ended up getting a dream. He was a Leo, so he was very active naturally in those lower chakras. He loved carnelian too, which is a Leo stone. I do too. It's a good one. But hi baby, I got you, honey. So he came back to town with this Charoite, and he had this stream. It was actually about me. And we had a business doing a number of things, including writing books together. And I also had built a website, and we were 50-50 partners selling stones through it. And the Seraphe Indigo Empress website, the YouTube that was taken down, that actually didn't start out as a Seraphe Indigo Empress website or channel. That actually started out as Crystals of Maine. But when my geologist business partner died, and it had just been sitting as a dead account because I couldn't run and build that business without him, he was doing all of the geology aspects of it, and I was doing the metaphysical side. When these locals were false flagging my account here, right here, where you are watching this video now on the Seraphim Emerald Gem Gypsy on YouTube, I needed a backup channel because they had attacked my account to the point where I couldn't use aspects of it for a minute. So I needed to make a backup for security. And so I took that account that had just been sitting there after Tony had died, and I changed the name on it. Seraphe Indigo Empress. And that was years ago. After that, when I did that, I also made a Facebook page, or around that time. And so for people to be trying to plagiarize those concepts and like to steal my handle, my name, my creations, you don't think that the business partners I was working with when those were developed, or who after they died helped me develop them, were going to be disturbed and notice what you did and come and rat you out? What do you mean? Crazy? That's crazy. Crazy pants. 32. But yeah, anyway, they tried it. So there's that. I posted Puke. I heard it this morning. Puke by Eminem. Because these people are so foul that people don't want to eat around them. Like, imagine being such a nasty person that people lose their appetite around you. You know what I mean? Like, would you want to eat your toilet in a dirty public bathroom? No, probably it's gross, right? It stinks, right? Well, that's how people feel when your energy is around karmics. Oh, and I smelled one of these karmics earlier. She smelled like the inside of a dirty toilet. She did. So I would say, girl, maybe you need to check your drawers and definitely wash them, and also put your behind in the bath with some bubbles. 3322. Why are these people so averted to cleaning themselves? I'm very confused. It's a topic that comes up a lot with these karmics. I don't understand. I mean, I even have, goodness gracious. One of my favorite scents smells like a bath. I get out of the bath and then I put on more stuff so that I smell like the bath. Why? I love the bath. Why are you so averted to clean? What is wrong with soap and water? I'm very confused. I don't think there's a good answer for that. Very curious, genuinely. Asking for a friend. Inquiring minds would like to know. Just kidding. Kind of, but moving on. Anyway. Also, I really don't care. But by the way, I would care less if I didn't have to smell you when you came up to play in my energy field. You stink. Saw that. Somebody just raised their arm and tried to sniff their pit. I'm not talking about your pit. Well, maybe that needs to be washed too. But no, I didn't smell your pit, girl. I smelled your booty, and it stinks. I just heard the word BBL. One of these people might have a BBL. Did you know that the whole BBL smell thing is a real thing? Yeah, well, anyway. It's not fake. It's not like a social media thing. Some people might have no idea what I'm talking about. I only do because I saw a topic in passing spoken about by an actual plastic surgeon a couple of years ago. But they said that the BBL smell is real, and what happens is there's like extra tissue and folds and just more skin, right? More crevices. So there's, I'm assuming, more sweat in areas that there wasn't, pockets for that sweat and that dirt and that bacteria to sit that wasn't there before. And then if people had questionable hygiene before, if they were able to get away with it in some ways, it doesn't work the same way when you have that extra stuff, those extra folds to clean. And so it stinks faster, it stinks easier, and I would say it takes more to clean. I don't really know a whole lot about this because that's all very foreign to me, but just based on what I saw this doctor say in a post, it popped up on my feed a while back. It's a real thing, and I don't know if that's what I hear that it is. Somebody watching me, I hear Kim Kardashian took Kim Kardashian as a I hear thinspiration. Interesting. As an inspiration, I heard thinspiration though, so I would say that I hear snatched waist and big build. That's so strange. I hear, what is that I'm seeing? Not a garter, kind of garter. What is that? Like those things that they wear around their waists to try to tighten them or like make them smaller. I hear snatch. They want to snatch their waist. What is it called? Like a corset kind of a thing. There's a specific word for this type though. I think it's like a workout. I don't know what it is. They wear it around the house. And I see that. And so it's like somebody trying to make their, I just gotta call it like I hear it, ass really big and their waist really skinny. I hear boob job too. Like this person, I mean, it sounds like they did take Kim Kardashian as an inspiration, but this is the thing about those people is a lot of those celebrities that people have been saving up for years, some of them, and destroying their bodies to look like, they're now getting all of those procedures reversed. Like the people that they're copying and inspired by, they don't even want to look like that anymore. Yeah, say there's a karmic female, she's mad now. You didn't know that? That's news to you? You mean I did all that for nothing? Oh, she's mad. She's mad. How are you backing up my energy? She's losing her mind because you're playing in my energy field. You're trying to copy my content. You're stalking my social media. You're responding and trying to hide things that I exposed that you were doing. Right? You responding to me noticing you being a weirdo. I say, hey, this is going on. You quickly try to delete it. So you're responding to me. You're responding with your actions to what I'm saying, showing you're still clocking me and then trying to cover it up. You're in my energy. Yeah, here, I want you to say my name. I will not let you chase clout off me, small fry. I've got much bigger fish to fry. Get out of my way. 38.55. Oh. No! And you don't have a choice. It's not an option. I'm asking you. I was informing you. Stay seated. You're being moved out of the way since you wanted to be like that. Yeah. 39.22. No, you're being moved out of the way. That little clip there, two things on that analogy. Here's your parallel. Trying to, right, hey, this person's posting this. Oh, let me go try to delete that so nobody can back search it and maybe figure out who I am and what I'm doing. No, you're being moved out of the way. That's why that got exposed. That's one. Two, between the continuing to post and the attempted cover-up, both of those fall into that. No, you're being moved out of the way. Do you not see that pattern? Because I do. Each time you make that, it's blowing up in your face because you're not supposed to be stubborn. In fact, I think I wrote that in one of the posts or one of the videos of these plagiarizer energies, I think maybe yesterday. No means no. And if it wasn't in regards to a plagiarizer, it was in regards to a domestic abuse energy. And you see, that's one of the people who chose to be involved in the cult energy, playing with conflict and chaos spells. So you really want to be like that, because that's the energy you're picking up on. It's the energy you're embodying enough for you to be on the same radio station and frequency as that demonic call that was sent out. What does that say about you, boo-boo? On top of the fact that you're copying and then responding by trying to cover it up when I mention something about it and then refusing to stop. Clown. Not my circus, not my monkeys. I wouldn't take tickets if they were free. You're crazy. Hold on. Oh, baby kitty. Something about blocking the airflow. They were trying to block the air sign, or this is a negative, a blocked air sign, toxic. It's an air sign energy, crown chakra, third eye chakra, etc. I say that because this didn't want to pull through. So they try to suffocate or block the life for an air sign, or these are toxic, low vibrational, negative, blocked air signs. Very cold, rigid, not good. But here's the other message in that. They're coming at a master who's equipped to handle and balance all the elements, to recognize this and create resolution. So it's just not wise. They tried to come at an alchemist who's overqualified and out of their league. For starters, okay, mice. Here's their karma. They're not going to have a good outcome. She's not going to have a good outcome. There will be no peace. Also, this is no peace in a marriage or a relationship. And look at this. One of them has their wings up and one of them does not. And so this is a connection that is one-sided. It's like she's trying to reach out at a connection that doesn't want her. Also, side note, I'm noticing that those are peace doves. They symbolize love. Sometimes they're seen at weddings. Which, by the way, can be a kind of a cruel thing to do, the whole dove release concept and animals, and be mindful of that. I think, especially in wealthy communities, people think that having animals at an event like that is such a fun thing, but a lot of times those animals are not treated well, and that's not okay. Yeah, somebody says, I don't care if they're treated well or not, as long as my photos look good, as long as it looks good, as long as I have what I want. And that's why you're a garbage person who deserves nothing in the world. And that sounds like a narcissist to me. In fact, that came out, didn't it? And in fact, that's why you feel like that. That's why you have to do things like that, or you tell yourself things like that, or you try to behave like that, because people like that who deserve nothing, internally they know that. 44. So they go around in the world trying to convince themselves that they they aren't garbage, that they aren't worthless. Their internal dialogue is that they deserve nothing, and they don't, because they treat people like that, because they behave like that, because they're willing to do things like that. But to try to combat that feeling that they are worthless, they run around bullying people or not caring about the harm that they're causing with a sense of entitlement. They feel like they're worth nothing, so they try to combat that by taking everything. And it's why they deserve nothing. They're right. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, anxiety, they're going to be racked with anxiety and have no peace, no good outcomes. That's the karma for this. Because they tried to, also others will be turned against them. Okay? Because they tried to slander you or steal from you, or me, in this case, it's me. But this is just another narcissist in the collective. We've seen this before. We've seen this pattern before. It's not new. It's not isolated to just me. It's pretty textbook, actually. The copycat thing, the sense of entitlement, the bullying, taking things that aren't theirs, playing the victim when they're not, when they get called out for it. The Darvo tactic, deny, attack, reverse the victim and offender roles, trying to flip the script when they get called out. All of that. It's just classic narcissism. It's Darvo 101. It's not new. It's just psychology. And I'm overqualified and out of their league. So their karma is that we have protection. Their karma is that people are listening to us, but people don't want to hear what they have to say. In fact, I think in one of the previous videos, their cover photo that says, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear what you have to say. No. Because you're not really sorry. You're just sorry you got caught. And I mentioned this, those water spirits. I picked that up. Yeah, your ex is preying on the downfall of your new love interest. And so this is that chaos and conflict magic. They send it out because they don't want divine feminine to move on or move away from them. They send it out because they don't want divine masculines to have divine feminines. And so anybody in the collective of karmics, whether it be locally or otherwise, that is in a low vibrational enough energy to pick up on that demonic call that says go target this light worker with chaos and conflict, they pick up on it. And what I've noticed about each of those people is that they all embody characteristics or traits of the last, including a lot of them share zodiac signs. It's all the same energy, and it's like the same demon that just jumps from one of them to the next. They're all being used as vessels, and the person who's doing the calling of the chaos, magic, and conflict spells, they're not special. They're not actually the top dog. In fact, they might just be the weakest link. Because they were the ones so gung-ho to let the devil run through them that they dragged all these other people into it. Now, these other people were, they chose to do that. They were yes men. They said yes to the toxicity. But the front runner had to be right elbow deep with the devil. So they're not going to have, again, people either listening to them, or they're going to have issues with transportation, communication, possibly scheduling. And I did mention this also. We're in this pre-shadow. I felt it the other day. I love Mercury retrogrades. I have a lot of Mercury in my chart. I'm very Mercury dominant. But it's because I know how to move with them. And one of the things about Mercury retrograde is lessons and cycles from the past will come up to be learned. It's very much like a full moon. It's often a time for you to release things. People from the past, exes, situations in relation to things like that, or time periods like that will pop back up, either for you to clear out. Sometimes people think, this person's popping back up into my life. Here's the opportunity to reconcile. Maybe it's the chance for you to close the door once and for all and not repeat that cycle. Because if it's not a door for you to open and you do, you will repeat that karmic lesson again. And it will be rougher and it will be less comfortable. It's like first grade to second grade. It's still the same material pretty much. It's just harder. It's a little bit more challenging. But you're going to have to repeat the cycle instead of being able to move on to the next grade. So the Mercury retrograde in this reference is people being nasty because these cycles are coming back are also going to catch extra karmic flack. And this is a pretty strong retrograde. We are at least a few weeks out from the shadow itself. And so this is what I'm calling a pre-shadow because I already feel it coming. Usually there's a shadow period coming into the retrograde and then coming out, meaning you still kind of feel some of the after effects beforehand and after. You still feel some of the effects beforehand and after. You can. But this is why these lessons are coming up, right? These things are finally being exposed. I needed to know that these people were siphoning from me so I could cut them off and clear them out. These people needed to learn their lessons and know that this is not okay and it never was okay, for example. And they're going to keep catching it until they stop. Not because I said so, because they're making poor choices to get money, to try to boost themselves up in life and career, and that's not how you do it. They had problems making good choices. Maybe these are people in some cases who cut you off. In fact, I know they are. People ganging up on me locally. They're either exes or they're ex-friends or people who either refuse to grow or people who are throwing stones to try to hinder other people's growth. And I don't condone either of those things, so I walked away and they got mad because that's the type of person that they are, which precisely is why I walked away, by the way, because they're nasty little rats. They're thieves, they lie. I mean, at one point I went over to one of their houses and they stole freaking oracle cards from me. And then also try to claim to be spiritual. And what's worse is it was an archangel deck. How are you going to try? Yeah, Divine Masculine's laughing at them. They seriously not only stole from an angel, they stole a sacred pack of oracle cards. And then on top of that, it was an archangel deck. And then they want to claim to be in touch with the... Yeah. A bunch of circus monkeys, right? He says, no, they're clowns. Yeah. Like I said. But I'm a Heyoka, biatch. A sacred clown. I will serve you right back to you on a silver platter. They don't like it very much when I give them back their energy. And also I use their own words against them. It's not my word against theirs. It's not my argument against their argument. It's I've caught them in lies and bullcrap, and so I documented that with screenshots, and so it's their own contradictions against themselves. For example, let's say somebody's claiming not to be racist, but then you also have posts where they were very blatantly racist. I'm like, it's not even an argument. It's not my opinion. It's their own lies against the truth in documents. Picture says 1,000 words, doesn't it? And I've got a whole bunch. And also on top of that, these people ran their mouths on keyboards. So there's that too. It wasn't very wise. Oh, blame my baby. Try to name it after the Akashic record while I don't know crap about it. 5422. Yeah, see? No, I don't. Wrong. Insecure. That's where that argumentative stuff comes from. It's just very childish. It's not coming from a place of correctness. It's coming from a place of ego and impulse. It's immature. I'm a mom, you know. You don't think I can recognize that? Also, it's the same thing over and over again. Somebody's trying to victim blame and shame me. Well, maybe if you were a better mom, your kid wouldn't have been taken. My kid wasn't taken. She's been held hostage. If you have to lie to a judge and pay people off and commit crimes against people to get what you want, well, that's perjury and fraud, and that not only legally has to be overturned, but you had no authority or right to do that in the first place at all. And so, again, not an opinion. That's just the law. It's called fiduciary duty and responsibility, in fact. The whole concept of that being the person who is best fit to raise and nurture a child or be in charge of a trust of some kind or whatever. This is doctor, client, patient confidentiality. Doctor, patient confidentiality, lawyer, client confidentiality. Careful, babies. Come here, my lovies. But the whole thing that elevates someone to be the very best candidate out of a group of people is who is the most, well, one of a few things. Yes, the facts matter. Some people may actually have more qualifications than others, but it's the person who's the most honest, who lays everything out on the table. If there are people who lie, keeping facts out because you think it will change someone's opinion of you or the situation, or maybe they won't give you the opportunity or they'll give it to someone else, that's called a lie by omission. So actually, technically, it's in the dictionary. Technically, it's still a lie. I didn't lie to you. I just didn't tell you A, B, and C. No, that's still a lie. In fiduciary law, if you do that and you leave things out that you think will make you not a good candidate, or maybe that makes someone else look like a better candidate, or whatever the combination, you don't tell things that you think make you look bad, you leave things out that you think make someone look more qualified, then you've disqualified yourself legally, because that's dishonest. The whole thing with fiduciary advocacy and duty is you lay all the facts out on the table, whether you think that they're good or bad, and then you let an intermediary, a judge or someone, discern. But when you've got people trying to cherry pick what facts they have out on the table, or doing things like deleting evidence after being called out to try to continue with their little fraud, you've disqualified yourself in the eyes of the law, the Lord, the divine, for sure, but also the law. As above, so below. You stop that. Hey. You'll be rude. Hey. Why do you like this? Yeah, I heard, why are you in such a good mood? We tried to fuck up your life because it didn't work, and I know what's about to happen to you. I'm a seer, remember? You're the one who has to lie. So there's that. Yeah, your glamour magic got ripped off. I was told to wait on that this morning. I did do a big sage session. And I thought about burning the palo, but they said, no, you need to wait. Well, now we know why. And you know what? Also, I am picking up this divine masculine energy coming through as well. He says, you're a badass. Wow. All right. I hear the gambler, the Kenny Rogers. You gotta know when to hold on. Speaking of, it's kind of what that palo smells like. Sage as well. So what their karma is that they've been exposed. What their karma is that they will not be able to balance things in their favor. Also, the law is not on their side. They will not be able to. Hey, come here. Come here. Come on. Oh, Mindy. Was that necessary? I don't think so. I think you need to relax and go chill out. Goofball. What are you doing up there? He just got up on the highest shelf, the very highest shelf where my husband's ashes are. Well, where they would be if his mother hadn't kidnapped them, where his hair is, because I'm psychic. And so, right before he died, he asked me for a haircut, and I gave it to him, and the holy angels told me, you need to save some of his hair. And I'm like, well, that's weird, but all right. And so I told him about it. I knew it was weird, but I also knew better than to ignore them. And then he died a few weeks later, and then his mother refused to give me his ashes, or any of them. I didn't want all of them, just a little bit to put in the urn. And if I hadn't cut his hair, and more specifically saved it, it would be empty. He's not thrilled about that, about what she did. 6122. So their karma is that they're going to be stuck. They're going to be stuck in their heads because they're being cleared out, and everything that they tried to do, basically, this is what they wanted. They wanted whoever they were taking from or putting in a bad spot to be stuck in their heads while they cleared out their lives or made their lives better by using us as stepping stones. And I actually got a 6155, a vision in the shower this morning, this morning. It was quite interesting. And they don't want me to speak on this one. The karmics don't. The holy angels do. God does. So, what was happening is these karmics were being swallowed up by the hellhounds, or a hellhound. I heard the belly of the beast, and it seemed like a reference towards the devil. Swallowed up by the belly of the beast, and there was a hellhound reference. It's karmic energy being eaten by a hellhound, so to speak, and it was giving Jezebel, eaten by the dogs. And then she was, well, I'll just put it this way, swiftly digested, okay? And what is fertilizer often composed of? For the garden, right? Right, okay. And so these piles of what would eventually become dirt that ended up coming from the digestion of a dog were formed like these people wanted to play with old school energies, right? Old gods, old magic, and things they should not be touching, right? Well, how were old houses made? When they laid, before they had actual bricks and things like that, like old school, like old school, like Ireland, and they had thatched roofs, and they made things with straw. And one of the things that they did was take chunks of earth and then make basically bricks out of them, and they would dry them and then lay them like cement. They were early age bricks and mortar, kind of, but they had to make the bricks not of clay if they didn't have it, but they would kind of bake them out of just kind of blocks of dirt that they'd make, or kind of like piles of manure. So these karmics are being eaten by the hellhounds, swallowed by the beast of the belly, into the belly of the beast, spit back out, just not out of its mouth, into the dirt to become part of the dirt, only to be reformed into bricks that are then fired, right, in the fires of hell, like a kiln, a clay kiln. And then they're being repurposed and used. I mean, these people are stuck now. They're frozen like bricks. Solid like a rock. And they wanted to use us as stepping stones. So in turn, the universe has just returned the favor, and Uno reversed them times infinity. They wanted to stand on our backs. They were entirely recycled into bricks to lay a foundation for our future. And that's what happens when you try to destiny swap, for starters. Or energy harvest. 6522. So this karmic female, her karma is that she will not be able to clear this energy out. There's no increase in psychic powers or energy or anything. Yeah, see? I told you they wanted to shut people up. I just picked up that coughing energy. Well, I quelled it, though. Because the people who they're trying to target are actually not only highly psychic, but increasing on those things and also able to heal. Their own partner, though, is and will be sending them negative energy. And I'm picking up these people will either be sick, like fever, hot, cold, sweat, flashes, or they'll be anxious, so anxious up and down with different things that they will have these hot flashes. They will have the dizzy spells, the issues with nosebleeds and hearing, and all those crown chakra attacks that they were sending. Yeah, that backfired. Oh, also, those dark energies that whether they were cognitive of them and calling them on purpose or not, that they were involved with, yeah, those are going back too. And people will be running their mouths, very likely, truly, about them, or maybe not, in fact, because that's what they were doing to others. I mean, this person just tried to blame their own child for why the post that they made last night, the video that they made last night, got deleted. When really, well, I didn't tag her name in it. I had a screenshot. I'll link it in the description box of this post. And it was of the video. And the title of the video that popped up into my username. And I had already told YouTube not to send me this content. I forgot to block her account, or I must have missed this account. But I had already told the algorithm to stop sending me her content, which showed me that it told me when it kept popping up again that she was stalking my page still. And I knew that anyway, but there was confirmation. She left her digital footprint. And when she stalked my community page and she saw that, she went and deleted the video. The post was about how I actually had a dream about aspects of this, and then I woke up, if I recall, and it was in my recommended. I heard that. I just wanted to be like you. You can't, though, and that's not how you do it. Their envy and inferior attitude towards you stems from deep-rooted childhood wounds. So there's something about like exes either attacking this person as part of their karma, or this is a disgruntled, bitter ex. It might be that the person they tried to cling on to doesn't, like, resents them, doesn't want to be with them or deal with them. I hear no, they don't. I hear they regret getting involved. Something about this person trying to paint the picture. I'm sure it's a Jezebel who tried to, I'm sure it was probably a baby trap situation. I hear it was. Where she tried to present herself as a divine feminine to get a dude locked in, and now because they've got a baby, she thinks like she'll forever be, you know, happy and married and provided for or whatever. But I've got news for her. It won't be. Not because I wish that, just because that's what I'm picking up. You don't get good things by being manipulative like that. I'm like, it's like dirty money. It's not, it's just energy. The energy behind it doesn't match what the presentation was. It'll crumble. It's like you can build something that looks good on the house won't fall if the bones are good. Nope. It can look good on the outside, but if it's not actually made of a true solid foundation, a really true solid lasting structure that was built on honesty and ethics and integrity and real knowledge and skill set, right? Real strength, then it's going to crumble. Doesn't matter how pretty you paint it to look on the outside. Or try to, anyway. Yeah, the pain could heal, the cracks won't matter. Let it rain, and you and I remain the same. Blow right over while we stay good. House won't fall if the bones are gone. Hi, babies. Okay, I just saw something about her mom getting sick. Something about she's creating generational curses. A son. Also, there's like an energy of a son around. I don't know if it's her brother or her son. I don't know. I'm picking up a son, but somebody else getting sick. So like an older generation and then a younger generation in the family getting sick. People around her, because she won't stop. And she's also trying to pretend to be something she's not. You want to pretend to be a healer and a high priestess and stuff. You're going to have your third eye thumped. You're going to get sick. Everything that you claim to be and claim to be able to do, you're going to be tested on. You don't have the skills. So what's going to happen? I mean, I don't wish that, but that's just how that works. That's how that works. Calling those things in by lying about those things. You're not calling the gifts in, you're calling the test for those gifts in, but you don't have them. You can't fake it till you make it. They will destroy you. Humble you. That's your lesson, though. Stop lying. It's one of them, anyway. And copying people. Yeah. How did you earn the skills? I lived through things that you're faking, experiencing. Faking the skill sets for. I earned them. In this life and many others. Okay, let's see. Pause. Cheers. Divine Masculine says, I'm so proud of you. It's not the first time I've heard that, actually, in this live. I heard it a while ago. I was told to be quiet about it the first time, but I really appreciate that, and thanks. Very much gratitude. Namaste. Sending love if you're receiving. One love. Remember, not everybody has that. And cheers. Yeah, I didn't realize you had the skill sets for that. A, B, and C, and this and that. I thought you were bluffing. No. Why? Because you were? Yeah, girl, I don't do that. I heard that. Poker face, poker face. Yeah, you have. No. No. I'm an indigo, dude. I'm a walking lie detector. A walking truth detector. Can't be mine, no, you can't be my poker face. It's not about that. It's not about your face. It's about your energy. Your energy speaks before you do, and frankly, it's garbage, I think. Magician in the mirror. You tried to come out a master alchemist, one, and also these people tried to play with mirror magic or cloaking or glamour magic. They tried to hide who they were, present themselves as something that they weren't. I just heard as this flipped over, see people can see right through them. 4:22 here on the clock on the East Coast. And what I just heard was from this karmic female energy. He knows that I'm not. He knows that you're not the divine feminine you pretended to be to lure him in and baby trap him. He knows I tried to baby trap him. Oh, is it even his kid? It's not. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time I've seen that one, if that was the case. Sad. Somebody says, what do you mean by baby trap? I've seen it a few different ways, a number of different times, in fact. I've seen people do this. I've seen people try to do this. One is that they claim that they're on birth control. In fact, somebody tried that to my husband when he was alive. When he was in high school, they told him that they were on birth control, and they were not. It was intentional. I heard that she got pregnant on purpose in high school. Yeah, and he was so good at football that he was being scouted before he was even a senior for scholarship. He was really good. But, you know, anyway, moving on. Oh, and then when he you know, because of that, his college scholarship for ball got affected. But then his dad had been in the military, so he was able to go to college. He moved to Ohio. He went to Ohio, I think it was Ohio State or something, for college for an electrician degree. And he was almost at the end of that. And then an ex of his contacted him and said, oh yeah, well, I'm pregnant. I think he had gone home to visit for a little bit, and she had whatever. And so he dropped what he was doing instead of finishing school to go take care of that situation. And as it turns out, it wasn't actually his child. She had been cheating on him with, see, he was clean and sober. He was working. She didn't have a cell phone. He had a cell phone, but because he didn't want her to be home alone without a phone or anything, he would often leave it with her while he worked. So she often had the phone, and she was also doing drugs and cheating on him behind his back with the drug dealer at that. And off how she was, so that's really prostitution, isn't it? Sucking a dude's dick for drugs. Yeah, okay. Well, she got pregnant by the drug dealer, except that's not a very reliable person to pin a baby on, is it? So well, it wouldn't be pinning the child, I guess, at that, because that was his child. But so she needed somebody to pin the baby on, and that would be more reliable Del Rey. She tried anyway. And turns out it wasn't his. He stayed to try to take care of his child for 6 months, but he said he couldn't deal with her anymore for a couple of reasons. She was just nodding out on the couch on some kind of opiate all the time. And he just felt bad for the baby, leaving the child there with that situation and person and environment. Really, but anyway. He ended up going to his mom and saying, Mom, how do I leave the situation? And she said, that's not even your kid. You're not obligated to stay. He actually asked her the opposite about me. She told me he never asked advice on how to make sure how to lock in relationships with other people. Always asked for how to sever the connection most cleanly from his mom. But when it came to me, he was always asking her, Mom, how do I make sure I never lose her? I need her. We ground each other. So, action, these people didn't know to slow down or didn't care to slow down. To quickly re-summarize and answer your question before we move on, these very quick-moving, lust-based people, either they claim they're pregnant when they're not. Sometimes they claim they're pregnant when they're not because then they think that person will just stop being precautious and then they'll actually get pregnant. Or they claim they had a miscarriage to try to play up on that person's emotions to get them to stay. Or see something about poking a hole in the condom too. But a big one is also cheating or getting pregnant with someone else and then trying to blame it on somebody, either that they think has more money or is more reliable, looks better on paper or something. It's so strange and sad. 80-22. It's not smart. She thinks she'll have security by trapping him. In fact, that often makes things worse because a marriage, a baby, a threesome won't make a man stay. Not a good man or a bad man. And that means that, I mean, a good man, if it's his child, will do his part to take care of the child, of course, but especially when there is abuse involved, there needs to be separation. And regardless, good man or not, if you think that a baby will make somebody stay, that is false. I mean, like, they think that if they get pregnant, he'll be forced to stay with them, but no, he can leave. And that means that you'll have to be a single mom. Or usually what these people do is they try to date around and try to latch onto someone else and find someone else. And there's nothing wrong with single moms dating and finding love or having a balanced support system and network. But there's a difference between independent, go-getting divine feminines and then these karmic females. And what I mean by independent and go-getting is not the same as these people who are very gung-ho on stealing from others, as they have been, as you've seen. Repeatedly. All right. So they're being exposed. The sun. The sun also has to do with children, often embodies children. The energy, the message of children. Yeah, see, look. The baby. Also the fishy, it's a goldfish. Lily pond. There's music over here. And a book, so wisdom. Also, there's the sun has like a crown halo almost on it. So there's divine wisdom and support here. And then you have this energy that's very much embodying almost a mermaid-like energy, but you remember that these karmics are not giving mermaid energy, they're giving siren. And I don't mean in a positive way, positive, beautiful, inspirational way. I mean red flag, alarm, the type of siren that tries to lure, conceptually, historically, men to their death with trying to make their voices sound soft and pretty, but really they're luring them into coves that'll destroy the ships and drown the men. Trying to lure people in with beauty. Again, it's giving Ursula the Sea Witch trying to pretend to be, what's her name, like Vanessa? I think it was Vanessa. Really, she snatched Ariel's voice. So maybe karmics actually trying to make themselves sound like a divine feminine. Not just in general, I mean as in a soft feminine voice, but a particular divine feminine. So, adjacent possibilities, the sun. Archangel Michael. They're being exposed by God and the holy team. And now, didn't I tell you that the holy angels told me earlier, hey, you need to go make sure that account is blocked? Yeah, I thought I was going to have adjacent possibilities. I thought if I deleted that post, then nobody would know how to track it back to the one that was being exposed for copying MGem, and then I could just continue my little... No. Anything else? Yeah. See, the scales are being balanced because what they did was cause imbalances. And they don't have any divine connection, so they have no escape either. Divine masculine. There's not just divine masculine, it's also some of my other divine feminines in the collective saying something like, I can't believe they had the audacity to try that, meaning the cover up. Yeah, anticipated. But you see, I know how these people work and think, so I knew what they'd do before they did it. Checkmate. Put your chains on me when you're 60 deep, and this heart in yours to bleed. Now that yours no longer beats it, hallelujah, buried you, yeah. You're dead to me, oh rest in peace. 86:22. So, what's happening to this karmic energy in relation to targeting me, targeting collective energies like this? The evil eye they sent your way has backfired. The evil eye they sent your way for being who you are that they're trying to copy, myself in this case, 8722, is being blocked, protected by the angels. They're catching karma. I have protection. And they're catching karma for being hateful towards my life, my successful life choices that they were jealous of and tried to copy. Right? Like, oh, maybe, here's one. I just picked up this download. Or maybe if you, what was it? Maybe if you were better, Mom, you wouldn't have lost your kids and la 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 la. No. No. See, that's the thing. I'm a great mom. In fact, my daughter was thriving with me. She's been struggling after being held hostage from me because she no longer had that proper consistent nurturing at all. She didn't have it at all. That nurturing care and support and education, and she doesn't have what she has with me outside of me. And I mean, unsurprisingly, I'm her mom. I specifically educated myself and designed my life to most positively benefit her as much as I could. I don't expect other people to do that for her, especially the way that I do. I would do anything for her. I love her. And I mean, these people have nearly killed me repeatedly just for telling the truth. She's way worth it. I love her. Heard that. Yeah, that's a good mom. I know. Okay, so those are good life choices. The whole concept of that fiduciary duty. Yeah, I don't. I share the highs, but I don't hide the lows either. I'm honest. I put everything out on the table as it is. And Karmic says, no, you don't know privacy versus secrecy. It's like you don't hand out your bank account information to people. You know what I mean? You don't give your credit card number to everybody. Why? Do you have anything to hide? If you don't want to give your credit card number out to people, to strangers, or if you don't want people to have your social security number, do you have anything to hide? No. But you know that there are bad people with bad intentions who want to use those things that are meant to be for you, for your support, for your specific association to benefit themselves. They want to use them to hurt you or to steal from you to benefit themselves. So you don't have anything to hide by not handing your credit cards or your bank account information to people. You just have stuff to protect. You don't have anything to hide. You just know that not everybody has good intentions, and there's a difference. So that's that. Fiduciary duty. They have no argument. Hating on your successful life choices. But you can't, though, because that was out of context slander, and it was also a really immature, unevolved, very unobservational attempt at a low blow. And frankly, it's giving Tanya Harding. If you don't understand what I mean, Tanya Harding was jealous of Nancy Kerrigan. She felt like Nancy Kerrigan was more talented, and she felt like she would never win a competition as long as Nancy was in the running. And so she decided to hire her boyfriend and some hood rats to go have them attack Nancy while she was walking from point A to point B and hit her with a pipe or a baseball bat or something in the knees so she couldn't figure skate, and therefore she couldn't be in the competition, and therefore Tanya thought she might have a chance at winning if Nancy was out with an injury that she hired a hitman to create. Yeah. Okay, if people are trying to take you out at the knees, it's because they're already beneath you and you're already above them. So they couldn't stop the change and the progress in the movement. They couldn't stop 9122 from people. They couldn't stop people from seeing what they've done and holding them accountable, and they can't stop our progress and growth and movement forward. And I see that. These people have been like leeches, like their fingernails just like latching onto people, and they're being pried off now. And I feel this huge release of energy. Man, fish, tree, ooh, told you, man. So she thought she could latch onto a guy, fish for his money, tree with a baby, a family, by creating a family dynamic. But doesn't know, it's a coffin, there's a death to that cycle. Or if that's what they were trying to create losses in regards to for other people, that's a no. Okay, these are people who have an unhealthy obsession with me, in this case. But again, this is not just me, but it is. Energy vampire, excessively demanding your attention and emotional support. But they're being blocked out. They're mad because they're not a star. I'm a star. I know you hate that. You hate 'cause I'm a rock star, you pretty little problem. Oh. You hate 'cause I'm everything that you ever wanted to be. Now you're mad 'cause you hate the way the world is looking at me. You hate 'cause I'm a rock star, your pretty little problem. Oh. Also, the cover photo of this video, the cover photo I made myself with some digital, just a quick graphic design. But the left side of it is a screenshot from the person who's been plagiarizing from this video. The side on the right is the little piece that I've written in, just to be clear, explaining the situation. And I find it quite ironic. For those who don't know, the meme that this person posted was from a Dr. Seuss book called Horton Hears a Who, and so somebody changed it and it's called Horton Hears a Bitch Ass Liar. But I found it pretty ironic because Dr. Seuss is something I've been reading to my daughter since before she was born. In fact, there's a specific version of the Places You'll Go book that's rewritten and adapted for babies that are in your belly. And so on the title of the book cover it says, "Oh baby, the places you'll go in utero." It actually says that. And so it's written as if you're reading it to your baby while your baby's in your belly. And I did sit there while she was in my belly and read her books, knowing full well that she could absolutely hear me. And she did. And so on top of that, our nursery theme, one of the themes that I had set up for the nursery specifically was elephants. And the whole movie with Horton Hears a Who, and the cover title obviously has an elephant on it. There's a reference of the orange too. I've been talking about how it's a good thing these criminals, locally especially, but not just lately, love the color orange so much because they're going to be put under the jail. I hear not even jail, prison for a number of them anyway. So there was that. I heard that. That's a lot of synchronicities. Yes, it is. Yes, it was. And that's not all of them. That's just in the one. I heard that. You read signs and everything. Baby, I'm a real reader. I don't make it up. Yeah. Oh, I do. I had to. That's why. Yeah, why you couldn't understand me. Why you had to copy from me. Because you don't. You don't understand where I come from because you're fake. Stop doing that. Stop trying. You don't have a choice. God will make you. It will be easier if you stop yourself. You're going to get worse karma if you don't, and it's going to be a lot more painful. And unfortunately, I'm picking up it might spill down to your kids, so I don't recommend that. I wouldn't do that. I think that's really sad. I also think it's sad that you would be so egoic and stubborn that you would be willing to risk divine wrath from your own bad karmic deeds falling on your children because you're too selfish and stupid and arrogant and egoic and immature and flagrant to stop what you're doing, and you just want to keep going. I think that's really sad. Also 4:44 on the clock here on the East Coast. And there's another bit I mentioned over the last couple of days. One of these previous plagiarizers, I kept noticing different synchronicities at 4:44 time sequences and also 5:55 sequences. And this particular person tried to claim that they had an association with 5:55, one of these plagiarizers. So interestingly enough, that, that those kept crossing over. But they've been crossing over with this particular energy, I've noticed, or the ones over the last couple of days, really. And so again, even though they're different plagiarizer energies, they're different people, either the posts they're making or taking, really, or the zodiac signs of them or the behaviors of them, psychologically speaking and otherwise, they're all the same. It's like dealing with a bunch of little Regina George clones. They're all just like copies of each other. And this is what happens when the devil moves from person to person or a specific entity. This could be one of the, conceptually, like the princes of hell or something like that, moves from person to person. The reason that they're all behaving the same, acting the same on that note is because it's the same dark spirit just speaking through each of them. So they're just saying and doing the same things over and over again. You know what it's reminding me of? The story of Sarah and Tobias. And it would be the demon Asmodeus. And this is a lust demon. This was obsessed with a divine feminine named Sarah. And Sarah was ready to be married. And then just before they could consummate the marriage, this demon would come in and kill her husband. And then she would be rescheduled to marry a new husband. This was in an era where arranged marriages were much more common. Come here, baby. And as they were getting ready to consummate the marriage, this demon came in, possessive of her, and killed her husband. the marriage couldn't be finalized until the consummation happened. But 7 separate times this demon would come in, and I've got a bit about this on my website actually, and kill her husband. And eventually, one of the angels, this is a fallen angel now, but it wasn't at that point, 10022, moved through one of the family members of this guy named Tobias and told him that he was the match for Sarah, and he expressed his concerns, Tobias, that he didn't want to end up dead like the other husbands. And he was told by this angel speaking through this family member that if he burned some incense that, interestingly, weirdly enough, in this case was fish guts, so seems like also it was trying to cast out the concept of the water spirit, right? We've been picking up dark water spirit energies, or that's water spirit energies that these karmics have been trying to call to use against people, I would say, at minimum. Here it's not working. In fact, they've upset them by trying to do that, and some of these water spirits are looking at them, or even, and some of the other deities, not just those water spirits, are looking at them like, who do you think you are at all? Trying to call on us, trying to ask for favors at all, let alone to attack people, and more specifically, not only people that are higher ranking than you, but people that we mess with, right? They might have been calling on, I've seen this before actually, sometimes karmics will call on certain very powerful beings or deities or whatever it is, but they don't realize that I actually have bloodline connections to those things based on my family lineage. So what they're doing is calling on my ancestry. They're calling on my ancestors to attack me, or they're calling on my previous past life incarnations to try to get those previous people that I was to attack me. They don't even realize what they're doing, but I do. It doesn't work. Whether it plays out like that or whether it's a random person, it doesn't work. They're not supposed to be doing that, and I outrank them. It doesn't work. So, anyway, they tried. Foolish. Yeah, envious of your children in pregnancy. Okay, so that's why they attempted low blow, which we've seen before from these plagiarizers. They get called out for stealing my content, and they think the best thing to do is try to target me based on my child, which is precisely what the person sending chaos and conflict spell has been doing. It's why they've been sending out chaos and conflict spells, because they're hoping that these losers will pick up on it and come create distractions so that they can continue to cause problems. You know, that's why you're all getting called out. It's being cleared out. We won't have to address these topics anymore, but you can't fix the problem by ignoring it. Sometimes when you call it out, they try to double down, hide it, they try to continue to push back, but no. Sometimes they're smart and they just stop when they realize they've been caught. But either way, eventually, the situation comes to a close. Whether they force the universe to make them, or they are smart and they listen and heed the warning. Dog. So they thought that they could latch on to a masculine also with a baby. Marriage in reverse. Told you it's not going to keep a dude. Parlor. Thought I would lock him in with a house or something. Or with a relationship. Thought because there was a baby involved now he couldn't leave. No. Yeah, they don't have any protection either. Like I said. So it's their cross to bear for trying to put burdens on other people. They should have minded their own business. So they may have to go do things like, instead of trying to pretend to be psychics when they're not, go get a housekeeping job. You know, before I did what I did here, that's what I did. Actually moved up the ranks to head housekeeper. Hey. It's not all I did. I worked a number of jobs. I also was a baker. And I moonlighted my own stuff. These people don't have any hope. They cannot, there's no security for them in what it was that they were doing. They thought they'd find security in stealing from or copying from other people. We're trying to use babies to create security. It's not going to create a happy home environment because it was not high honor, it was low class. Yeah, get together, it's in reverse. The person that they tried to latch onto is going to want to separate from them. Lily, that's my name. Yeah, those are calla lilies too. So funeral flowers, meaning the closing of a cycle for this karmic female who's been seen as a snake. You see also earlier in a different, wasn't it a different deck? No, it was an earlier card. She was kissing the mirror and she was in this pink dress, but it was covering all these tentacles in the front. She's not covered here. People can see her for who she is. And they're red in this one instead of green. She's reckless. Book. Yeah, people know what she's done now. Rich gent. And the dude she thought she would latch onto. Wow, anchor. Told you. For money. Fox. She thought she'd be sneaky. You know what? One of the plagiarizers, I think it's possibly the next one I have to address, if I recall. There's, yeah, I believe that is. There's a post that she made with a fox on it. I mean, they're not sneaky. They're not sneaky. Oh, actually, you know what's funny? I think, if I recall, that's hilarious. I think if I recall, the post she made with the little fox emoji was on an image with her cat on it. And so, like I said, this is the next karmic that I haven't even done a reading on yet, but it's bleeding into the next one, and that one bleeds into all the other ones. This one I would call Delulu Tunnel .2 or Delulu Tunnel 2.0. Tunnel of Delulu 2.0 or .2. Because I called Katie Emmitt out for stealing from me, and she had made a post about how she was often living in the tunnel of Delulu, and I posted it here. And then this girl who's been copying me snagged it a few days later and then reblogged it on her video. And this is the one from this video, this one that I'm calling out, who went in after I called out the video title last night. She deleted it because she didn't want people to be able to back search it and trace it back to her. She didn't want people to know that it was her, since I won't let her chase clout off of my name, but she doesn't want people to know who she is and what she's doing. She thought she'd cover it up so she could continue what she's doing, which is scamming. People are trying to. The garden, siren, the mermaid, see? But these people are pissing off the real, not only the real water spirits or deities that they've been trying to call on, but also the humans, the real high priestesses, the real divine feminines that they do F with. Like Mami Watatero and I, for example, okay? People trying to call on water deities to target her or I or somebody in that kind of energy, somebody who these beings are cool with, it's not going to work out for you. We mind our business. As Mami Watu would say, drink our water and do our yoga. The long road. And so they don't have anywhere to go. It's a short road. I would say a long walk off a short pier, but it's not. Short road for them. They're cut off right now. Also from divine flow, divine source, divine abundance, life force. Because they were trying to steal and siphon off of other people. That backfired. Nasty. Because what they were doing was also taking from children. 11022 Divine Masculine says, while trying to promote themselves by claiming to be some kind of motherly figure. Ugh, that's gross. Yeah, I agree. Not very nice. Oh, they think we're not very nice. They think because I'm call out the truth like it is, or because I stand here and I don't sugarcoat it, and I'm not going to sit there and let them gaslight, and like, they're not being nice. They're being nasty people. They're doing nasty things. So why do they expect us to have a nice conversation and baby them? They're not babies. These are all people who are well over 18. They're into their 20s, late 20s, mid to late 20s, and 30s and 40s and up to 60s and upwards. I've seen creating drama like this. No. You're wasting people's time. You're too old for this shit. I've had enough. 1:11:11. I just saw. Yeah. So let's see, shall we? Judgment. You're being called on. Judgment on. You're having judgment called on you. That's enough. The Emperor. You were immature. Snakes, stealing, aggressive, trying to take things that weren't yours. Yeah, from a real balanced person who did the work and is qualified to hold the crown, the title. High Priestess. Queen of Pentacles, somebody who actually put in the work. Obviously, if you're stealing from somebody, you know that they're something special. Obviously, they have something that you want. Why would you be taking from them if they weren't? For starters, it's a good question. It's the only question really there. Okay, so anyway, moving on. You also have, whoa, you already know who this is. Oh, I know. Always trying to one-up you. I know. Hating on your spiritual and psychic gifts. How are you going to hate on them while you're copying? Obviously, you know I'm the tits. You're just jealous. The Tower. And that's why they're catching Tower moments. Because they were hateful. They were being exposed. They left a paper trail. They've been called out. Yeah, and now they've created blockages for themselves. For trying to create blockages for other people. Look. Black obsidian, jet obsidian. Here it is. 2 of them right here. 1, 2. Family members hating on you. This could be an ex. People that were calling those chaos conflict spell energies. Yep, but you've got the crystals, divine protection here. And any attempts to spin a false narrative, try to paint you as the bad person. And I'm, as far as blackmail goes, I'm picking up even try to, if not with slander, then trying, well, this is a form of slander, but trying to retaliate against a whistleblower for exposing something like the theft or the plagiarism by playing the victim, right? When they try to claim that they're being harassed and we're copying them or we're just making things up, or really when they know we're not and they're lying. It's kind of an attempted blackmail or emotional blackmail on levels. They want people to feel bad for them and to just listen to their lies blindly as a result. But they can't do it. They don't have it. It's not real. It's also been shielded by the divine. So, yeah, they thought that they would unexpected money. It's in reverse. They thought that they would get some quick money from doing this, but it's backfiring. And they're being whooped with their karma and the consequences of their actions for trying to use other people as a stepping stone, other people as a key to their own success without permission, knowledge, or consent. And I also hear intellectual property theft and violation. For starters, But this is being closed out. These cycles have been exposed for a reason, so they can be closed out. God says, you're not going to siphon off of my light workers anymore. You're not going to energy harvest like the witch that you are and you've been. Ah, here's Santeria. Somebody playing with spell work. I see a little altar they've had. No. No. Candles and little, what is that, like rosary? No, it's disgraceful. It's also sacrilegious. Actually, what do you have to say about that, God? I want to see. What do you have to say? It's over here. Hold on. Yeah. What do you have to say? They can't understand your level of knowledge. They're trying to make fun of you, but they only do that when they are threatened, insecure. Whoa. Yeah, you will continue to thrive on these haters. Haters will try to convince you to just give up. Yeah, see, it was the bullying. They wanted to try to bully or continue to target and get you to back off on telling the truth, or just let them continue to do what they do. But that's a no. No, this is part of my purpose, so you're going to stop, because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not doing anything that's in relation to your calling or your purpose. Stepping on and trying to steal from other people isn't it. They either can't get recruiters to or they can't get recruits to come target you with them, or they're trying, but you're going to overcome it, because all they're manifesting for themselves is everything that they're trying to put on you. And if they were actually the qualified practitioners or spiritualists or manifestors or whatever it is that they claim to be, they would already know that, but they don't, clearly. When you feel like you have to steal from other people to have something for yourself, it's because you feel like you won't have anything otherwise, and there's not enough for you unless you take from someone else. And that's lack and loss frequency. So what you're manifesting is there's not enough in the world. You don't have the free will, authority, or clearance to take from someone else. I mean, like, you can try, but you get bad karma for doing so if you do it. And that's if they're able to take anything, even just for a time period. Sometimes they're not even able to get away with what they're trying to do at all. Now, either way, they catch karma for trying, or either way, they catch karma, whether they manage to do it and they get caught later, or they get caught in the act, or they're blocked beforehand. They still catch flack for trying. But it's lack and loss frequency. Karmic says, you don't understand how that works. Actually, you don't understand how that works. Because the universe says that there's an infinite amount of energy, abundance, and what have you for all of us. So there should be no reason or need to steal, to siphon. If there's enough for all of us and they were actually getting divine channels, they wouldn't need to siphon our energy to boost their lives. They'd be getting their own. But because they feel like they've got to steal from us, they don't have anything for themselves. And they won't, ever. They're trying to mock. They don't think this is how this works, but it actually is, in fact. And you don't have to take my word for it. But I will let God speak about it. So they don't understand how it works, clearly. Let's pause and get some water. Right. Salty bitches trying to get a reaction from you to get your attention. That's why I won't name drop. Oh, told you. It's just out of jealousy. And X is the one sending negative energy. This could be the people sending the chaos and the conflict spells, which these other people picked up on and then, again, followed up with. Trying to bring you legal troubles. I hear they can't. Also, tell me about that, their karma for trying. But I hear that I have grounds to sue. Yeah, their karma for trying. Yeah, because they're trying to cause a setup. And or also, they're being set up by the divine. Now, it wouldn't be an issue if they were being ethical, but you see, since they're so greasy and grimy and they're manipulative, when they see an opportunity to try to get one over on people, they try to take it. It wouldn't be even a test for somebody who has a level of ethics, and so it wouldn't even be a setup or anything, because it's not something we would even be tempted to do. 12222. But these people don't run on that frequency. They're dark. So they are. And in that case, God sent me as karma. God hid me in plain sight. God sent me as a test and you failed it. Learn your lesson. They thought they'd get away with stealing or get something. No, they're being taught why that's not okay. What's their karma for trying this? They're going to continue to envy my skills and talents. They're going to continue to be mad at my God-given abilities. People are, if they're doing spell work, it's going to be, people are going to be tipped off about it. Keep reminding them of how fantastic you are. Don't worry. What about sending hate emails? Not from me. And if they send them out, you're saying? Because I have been picking that up, like slander. It's giving Katie Emmitt. I've been picking that up too. The whole thing with, let me try to stir the pot behind the scenes, gang up, get people to gossip, get people to side with me. It doesn't work, because people come and they look to see what these people are talking about, and they actually end up agreeing with me. If they have any sense of ethics, if they have any kind of common sense or moral code, for starters, yeah, sending you the evil eye, but it's backfired. It's backfiring. I told you. Ex-friend, told you. Like Emmitt. They'll try to play the victim once they know they're losing, but remember that you just tried to send attacks, so no. Haters are mad because they see you winning. Told you, but it failed. Build a bitch, major copycat. No. Can't compete where you don't compare. Their karma. They're going to be, told you. So for trying to bully light workers and trying to message like people in our, I guess, social circle, Yep, for trying to recruit haters, for hating on your psychic gifts and abilities. They're going to be forced to deal with the shit that hits the fan, and they're not going to want to do it. They want to run away. Also, something about the universe. Big backfire. Hold on. Let's see what this is. She's mad. Oh, you wish bad. I don't wish your mom was sick. I'm a medical medium, though. I picked it up. I'm also an Akashic reader and a generational curse reader and also breaker. And so I see it for what it is. Claiming credit over your success. What do you mean? Girl, I've been here for way longer than you. It doesn't even make sense. You're talented and they're not. I know. Trying to cause you paranoia. I know, it's not working. Obviously, they're confused, though. Hater will try to apologize and have a change of heart. Well, no, I don't want you back. And following you from fake accounts. Yeah, you know why? Because I blocked her. Yeah, exactly. I blocked her. Ignore these fools. You're too fire for them. I got a new way if you want 50. I'm not coming back in you. Can't come with me. I heard the gossip, I heard the rumor that you said you made me who I am. Darling, you're a fan. You're so toxic. Like Brittney, bitch, I block you just because I can. You're still a fan, bitch, please. Jeepers, creepers, where'd you get them peepers? Jeepers, creepers, where'd you get them eyes? They want to see you suffer so bad. Yeah, that's why you're catching karma, I know. Then their karma on the backfire, they see you getting all this love and they can't stand it, so they're going to have to continue to see you win. Told you. They play dirty. I know. How are they going to try to play dirty? Here's slander. Also spell work attacks. Evil intentions will fail. It doesn't matter what they do anyway. Purposely trying to trigger you to fuck with your day. Yeah, I know. Well, how'd that work out for you? Fake. They can't. Doesn't work for them. Haters will convince you to just try to give up. It's not working. It's part of their karma is that nothing that they do is working. In fact, they're going to put themselves in more debt by trying, I hear. Like if they're trying to invest money into running this business, like being fake psychic, trying to copy me or whatever it is, it's just going to put them in more debt because they're not supposed to be doing this anyway. They can't operate on the frequency you're on. I told you. You can't. You overpower them without even knowing. Oh, I know. I feel that too. It's like a womb magic. They're trying to do womb magic or energy. It's energy harvesting. It's in that solar plexus sacral chakra. So really any of the plagiarism and theft, trying to take credit for other people's creativity or whatever. Yeah. What did I tell you though? People are noticing their lies. BS. They see your true potential and are threatened by it. Also, you tried to avoid drama, but they're pushing it, so stand up for yourself when you need to. Exactly. I went to block her, and I noticed that she's trying to spin a cover-up to keep stealing, so no. This hater doesn't like to show their face. They like to keep themselves hidden. And didn't I say that yesterday? The only thing that this person had going for them was that they had pictures of themselves in lingerie or just shots of themselves trying with all kinds of filters on, trying to make them, it was all for show, trying to flaunt themselves. Had nothing to do with the context, nothing to do with the channel. It was just the siren energy trying to lure people in. But it was just voiceovers. I'm sorry. Shh, I don't want to hear it. Voiceovers of shh, thank you for binding that energy. She's trying to do spell work. That's a no for me. Return to sender. Little goblin. Ghoul. Gremlin. 130. 22. It's like she cherry-picked things that other readers were talking about and would speak them on a voiceover, but with a picture of herself in lingerie or like really short silky pajamas or something like that. But it was just to lure people in. So I hear that thirst trap. So Divine Masculine says thirst trap. Yes. Jezebel. Fake spiritualist. Told you. Who wanted to sit there and try to be a fake psychic or spy on me? No. Trying hard to lower your self-esteem. Yeah, that's a no. Jealous and in competition with you. Yeah, I can't compete where you don't compare, though. They got scammed trying to do spiritual work on you. You shouldn't be doing that, so any of that stuff is going to be a scam because it won't work. None of it will work. This hater doesn't like to show their face. Told you. And I do on the regular. On lives. Just haven't for a few days. They can feel your come up. Yeah, I know. That's why she's been stealing, trying to toe step. How are you going to try to compete with me when you're copying me? You can't compete with me. I'm me. Haters are mad because they see you winning. How are you going to try to step on my toes, which requires being in front of me when you're trying to follow in my footsteps, which means you're behind me? What sense does that make? That didn't work, did it? Build a bitch, major copycat. And they can't play the victim. People won't let them. Haters will always gaslight, fake support. You try to avoid drama, but they're pushing it. It's the same stuff. They can't come at you alone because they're scared. Yeah, see, you're a false reader. Personality disorder. So that's the second time the narcissist card has come out. They don't know how to be themselves. That's why the copycat thing too. They're not allowed to feed off my confidence. I don't let them. That's why they got called out. I won't even give them the clout chase. Trying to one-up you. How do you one-up somebody you're trying to copy? That's stupid. Yeah, told you. Stealing your ideas and trying to pretend that they invented them, but it's not working because I saw it for what it is and called it out, and now everyone else can see too. Can't compare yourself where you don't... Can't compete, rather, where you don't compare. Constantly comparing themselves to you. And they don't have any protection. Okay. So there's that. Now let me tell you, if God calls me to speak somebody's name in something, it's because they've pushed things to a limit where it's so bad, they've been so bad that I have to whistle blow on it. There's a line, right? A lot of times I won't let people chase clout off of my name, and they want the attention. But when it gets so bad because they think I won't, or they pushed it to cross a line to the point where I have to, that's the point where now when I have to speak up and I have to bring their name into it, they don't want their name in it. They don't want people to know what they've done, or they don't want people, when I have to whistleblow about that stuff, they don't want people to know that they're the one who did it. They were all fine and dandy with me speaking about what they were doing. They wanted the attention. They wanted so badly for me to name drop. But then when they realized that it would mean their name being associated with all the nasty stuff that has been done, or the worst stuff that they do, which requires me to finally allow that scale to be tipped to whistleblow, specifically 522. They don't want their name in that, but by then it's too late. So I suggest you quit while you think you're ahead. 522 on the clock on the East Coast once again. So, as far as, yeah, see, they're stuck in sorrow. But court will not go in their favor. Any kind of court situation will not go in their favor. People are not wanting to hear what they have to say, or anything, any slander that they were trying to spin has been blocked, but they're stuck, they're confused, and they were confused as to the fact that they thought that that was a good idea, obviously. Again, also trying to bring a child into the situation because they thought, wow, twice. They thought that maybe, like, latching on to a guy this way would bring them success. Marriage. But it's not bringing a happy household, even if they do get marriage. It's not love. He feels locked in. He feels trapped. Or he feels like he was entrapped. That's why he's leaving. Deep thoughts, because he's not confused. Murky thoughts. He's not, and it's in reverse, though. He's not confused. He doesn't want to be there anymore. Yeah. And so this man doesn't want to be with this karmic because she was trying to use him for great fortune, and he says no. This isn't love. This isn't even good for kids to be around. He's saying something about like he feels bad for the child or because of a situation with a child, but he knows it's not a good situation to stay with this toxic energy, and so he's not going to let her latch onto him to chase money or clout or anything else, and I don't blame him, neither am I. It sounds like a pattern for her. Whoa, woe is me. Now she's in sorrow, like I said, because she's been exposed for stealing. If I have to name drop people, you know, it's gonna be too late, but while I've got every right, I promise you, you don't want me to have to do that. They always regret it in the end when that scale flips. The ones that are smart stop at this point or long before now, anyway. The ones that are smarter never start this crap in the first place. Frankly. Okay, yeah, see, broken heart. I'm telling you, it's not a happy situation as I split the deck. Whoa. Anything else? Lord of Romance in reverse. It's not love. It's contractual. It's like whoever this is, that's, wow. That's wanting a loving connection and not whatever this karmic connection is. The karmic is anxious. This person who's leaving them is not. They're feeling peace in their decision to leave. Yeah, because they know it's their doorway to personal healing and happiness. It doesn't come from staying in this toxic situation or environment. Yeah, because it's not peaceful. It's not a happy or healthy home to raise a child in any way with that person. Anything else? Hi, babies. Oh, come here. Go, go, go. Silly goose. Anything else? Anything else? Come on, babies. Right down. Thank you. Okay, I had that dream also about these water spirit energies, right? Karmics trying to play with water spirits because they wanted to elevate themselves over light workers. Told you the dream prophecy. That's a no. Youth. Yeah, because they're crotchety hags. Whether it be internally or externally. It's just giving ugly old hag energy. Loneliness, and that's why they're being forced to sit there. Because they try to target somebody who is just minding their own business. Wedding in reverse, yeah. That's why they're being abandoned and left, because, well, it's what they were trying to put other people in. Snatch someone else's destiny and blessings. I keep hearing this. You can't put your chains on me when you're 6 feet deep. And this heart's not yours to believe. Now that yours no longer beats in. Hallelujah. I'm over you now. Buried you like 6 feet deep. Hi, babies. You okay? What are you doing, little Zoomy? Buried you like 6 feet deep. Now rest in peace. Okay. You know what I also noticed? The karmic I'll be reading on tomorrow, I think, because I noticed another one last night. She's been copying everything in my community board. I'll post a music artist in my community board, and then she starts posting the same songs or the artist. And same thing with a couple of readers. I started reblogging. I haven't in a while. And it wasn't a one-off. It's that she was very clearly going down my community board and just reblogging things without context. Trying to be me. She even tried to copy my dream prophecy story, or more specifically, my death prophecy story about my husband. I saw that too. That's a no-no. You don't think my spirit team will tell me what's going on? Especially while you're lying about them, or lying about things, trying to snatch someone else's story? No, ma'am. There's also a difference, because I've been picking up a karmic energy who's trying to say something like, well, sometimes people have similarities. Yeah, there's sometimes people do have similarities that cross over. Or they have things in common, or they can just get along even if they don't. But for example, I post good readers. I'll call out people who are fake, but I also do post people who are solid. 14242. But there is a big difference between having something in common with somebody and then somebody trying to copy another person. More specifically, somebody, this is really what it boils down to, somebody trying to present themselves as something that they are not. Somebody trying to put a mask, a persona on that does not match their true energy or demeanor underneath. I'm a real psychic. I picked that up. 14322. So there are plenty of people, yeah, who might have some similarities, but what their energy does not contain, that these plagiarizers do, is the energy of a plagiarizer. They've got an energetic fingerprint that is coded in, and it's ugly. And so there might very well be people who have things in common, but their energy doesn't register on my radar as fake, as copycat, as it's different. It comes off as authentic because they are. People who are fake, that are trying to present themselves as something they are not, or trying to copy someone else, meaning embody someone else's persona, but it doesn't actually match who they are, their own energy, based on the actions that they emit, based on the thoughts that they think, etc. That is a red flag. I hear red herring as a term, first of all, but also I see a computer, and it's like the computer's picking up a virus in the system, or there's something about the program and it's not coded to fit. Like they're trying to claim that they are this piece of equipment, or they are this particular program, or they've got these qualifications and these skill sets, but then when you try to run that program through the computer, it's not actually compatible. It doesn't work because they lied and they don't have it. It's not made for that. It's like people who try to force their way into someone else's destiny path. They try to copy someone else's destiny path because they think it looks successful and fun, or make someone else happy or is lucrative for them. But of course it does. When they're following their particular destiny path, you're not going to have the same path as them, even trying to copy their path, because it's not for you. You're not them. You don't have the same energy. You don't have, it's not it. It's like somebody who's left-handed trying to force themselves into a pair of right-handed scissors. Those aren't for you, babe. They make left-handed scissors. Why are you doing that? 14522, you know? I'm picking up just analogies, so there's that for you. I just got a couple of visions if you need a human example. So there's that. I also see somebody sitting there taking notes, whether it be because they know that I'm telling the truth and they want to note this down so they can try to avoid their karma, which would be the only wise and relatively acceptable reason for that. The other two are, I'm going to try to write this down so I can go turn around and play the victim, or la 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 la, or let me turn around and write this down, Katie Emmitt. Let me take notes so I can make my own post and try to copy bits and pieces of what she's saying later and try to say it's original. Mm-hmm. Okay. If it's not a particular person, it's giving that exact particular energy and situation that just recently popped up, like within the last 2 weeks. So we're not doing that. We're not tolerating people who are doing that, and that's your warning. Cut it out. I saw it. Alrighty. So as far as the, that's not how universal law goes. Oh, I can't even do that voice. It's so annoying. I mean, that's how they sound when they're doing that, when they're trying to be combative and argue, but it's just so annoying out loud. You're annoying. Not acceptably either. Just obnoxious. How are you going to sit there and try to claim to be some kind of spiritual practitioner? Oh. Okay. So as far as they were arguing about the laws of manifestation, right? Trying to copy someone and steal from someone means that they feel like there's not enough in the world for them unless they take from someone, meaning they feel like there's not enough in the world for them. It's lack and loss frequency. So they fail to acknowledge the law of vibration. This person's also been posting butterflies a lot, I noticed. Actually, I think including possibly, if I recall, maybe today. I have to double check, but it might have been the post that she made trying to blame her son for deleting the video that she posted, which I did some whistleblowing about. She deleted it because she didn't want people to be able to link it back to the whistleblowing I did, but it just showed that she's deleting evidence. And obviously still clocking me, because why would she do that otherwise? The law of reciprocity. See, she's not being fair or balanced. She's taking from people. And that's the thing, is she doesn't have nobody does. That you don't have the clearance to take from other people. Even if you think, well, I feel like there's not enough in the world for me unless I take from you. The universe does not hear that. The universe does not reward you for bad behavior. You're taking from people, so the universe will take from you back. In some area of your life or your family. For starters, including finances. They want to take food out of other people's mouths, other people's kids' mouths. That's what the effect of it is, or the attempt of it, by taking context and concepts and projects that are not their own. And so the karmic is trying to argue, well, I thought there was enough for everybody. Yeah, but that's the thing, is God gave us those things for us, not for you to take. Maybe if you weren't taking and you actually got right with the Lord, you'd have some things of your own, but you don't, because you're doing shit like that. Okay? So what the universe hears, this karmic say, is there's not enough for me in the world unless I take from other people, except for because they don't have the clearance and authority to take from other people. The universe stops listening after there's not enough for me in the world, period. No, because, or unless, or no, you don't have a reason. There is no viable excuse. You just get karma. There's not enough for me in the world, period. Okay, God says, you don't think I can provide for you? There's not enough for you in the world? Regardless of whether or not other people are involved, or you think you've got to take from other. Nope, there's not enough for you in the world. Heard. Got it. Because you don't have the authority to take from others, regardless of whether you think there's not enough for you. If you don't or not, it's not okay. Oh yeah. And that's why you catch karma, because you tried that shit. You were not being called to steal from people. You're being called to a higher purpose in reverse. You tried to skip the consequences of karma. You tried to cheat destiny, and that's a no. The law of transmutation. In fact, they tried to step on someone else's blessings or steal someone else's blessings or destiny and life purpose and path. So what do you think is their karma? If they get out what they took, if they get back rather what they put out, what does that mean? Guess they're going to be blocked in the same areas they tried to block other people in, huh? Because you can't just run away from your karma. There's no transmuting that. Anything else you want to tell us? Yeah, and these consequences will forever chase them, will forever haunt them in this life and any others. This is not karma that just goes away. The law of forgiveness in reverse, exactly. There's no running away from it. The law of divinity, because they were being karmic, not divine. The law of dharma, and they have no blessings because they were being karmic. They were trying to manufacture dharma for themselves by forcing it, by stealing from other people. And that's not dharma. You catch karma for that. You tried to tamper with someone else's dharma. You tried to steal someone else's blessings for their good karma, for their hard work well done, because you were jealous of it, instead of just doing your own hard work and good deeds to earn your own dharma. And that's why you're getting more karma. Why do they get blessings and I don't? Because they cleared their karma. Why am I getting hell and why am I catching hell and they're getting? Because they cleared their karma. You made it worse for yourself. Don't compete where you don't compare. Out of your league, out of your depth. And girl, you're out of your noggin. Heard that. She's got a deck for everything. I've got about 500 in my library over here. In fact. Why? Because this is my life purpose and path. I do what God calls me to do. I'm good at it. Don't compete where you don't compare. There are a bunch in there. That whole thing is full. 2 stacks deep on each shelf. That whole thing is full. Three or 4 stacks deep on each row. No, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably 6 to 8 decks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, like 7 rows. Almost 10 stacks deep each row. And then I've got these. Cat was getting into that earlier. He stood up here. My little Buddha's around. Stop copying. It's not about the cards. Cards are just like pictures in a book. I don't need the book to read. I don't need pictures in a book to read the book. And I don't, frankly, need to read the book at all. I also have the gift of a couple of them. Gifts of psychometry and cryptography, something I call crypto psychometry, and it's kind of a crossover between them both. I've actually had people witness this before. I will pick up a book I've never read and sleep next to it and then start talking about stuff I'm picking up on downloads the next morning. A book that they've read, a book that they're well versed in, but I'm not. And they'll look at me with their head cocked sideways, true story, bro needs no dragons and shit, and say, you know that's in the book that you slept next to last night, right? And of course I hadn't had time to read it because I was sleeping, but I did internalize the content energetically because I have a gift. A bunch of them. For starters. 157.22. What gifts don't you have? Little to none. Even of the rare ones. Somebody says, you're like a ninja. I guess so. So I heard that Shaolin. Yeah, well. Let's do this one. I think I'm going to stop after this. Just feel like I need to call it pretty quickly. Because I'm feeling the energy shift. I have some other things to do, and I have another reading to do tomorrow. Also, as far as the, speaking of confidence, what's wrong with being confident? Oh. As far as the chaos magic and conflict spells go, I do have a Reiki for that. It's called security Reiki, because what they're trying to do is destabilize people with the chaos magic and conflict spells. So the opposite of that is security. Exactly. They cannot embody who they are trying to be because it's not who they are. Self-love. Yeah, see, they don't like themselves. It's why they tried to copy and steal from other people. Look at this. In my case, tried to snatch from a divine feminine angel incarnate and her child. Somebody who had already faced their shadow wounds. Truly. What did I tell you? You can't touch me, first of all. And I also picked up these people trying to claim they could manifest, and also didn't know how manifesting worked, and also play with water spirits. Also, the one I noticed yesterday that I'll deal with tomorrow posting about water spirits too, and also Oshun trying to play with honey jars and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, man, no. Ego illusions. Told you. It's just a space of ego. They tried to hide behind masks, and I ripped them off with the truth. What the divine and I call dragging these people to filth and then washing them with the truth. I'll call you right out. And I'll clear it out with the truth. I mean, it's all truth, but... And I'll lay your shit up there. See how quietly every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I do. These are low vibrational people. And there's no erasing their karma, there's no washing this off. Nobody wants to hear what they have to say because it's evident what they've done. That they were not balanced in what they were doing. And that they had no clearance in doing what they tried to do. Yeah, I heard that. People are questioning them and laughing at them. You really tried to copy a real empress? You tried to come after a real empress? Oh, that wasn't very smart of them. Yeah, they weren't thinking very clearly, were they? Perspective in reverse. Anything else? Moon on her face. Yeah, see, they are trying to play with spell work and moon magic and stuff too, some of them. It backfired though. You tried to play with elemental magic against somebody who's... Yeah, against somebody who's a master. Already tapped in. Certainly more aligned than they are. Comes from the elements. Comes from the ashes of herself. Phoenix. No clearance, I heard. Yeah, there's a masculine. He's upset with this karmic female because he seems to understand or have some degree of understanding that he feels like there's drama or karmic destruction of some kind in his life because of what she's doing. Like, he's being impacted by whatever negative things that she's done. If she's catching karma and he's around, it's affecting him. Something about his money or just being in the environment, whatever damage is coming back to her, it's affecting her, maybe because of the child or something. But yeah, he's not happy about it. True self. He sees who she was copying. Search history. She was stalking a divine feminine and she left it in her search history and he saw it. Or she flipped out and talked to him about divine feminine, but I also see something about search history. Something, maybe she left her stuff logged in his phone or something. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. He's not wanting to talk to her. Because he sees that she's a karmic. And it's like she had hope, maybe? No, that's not what it is. It's that he sees a real divine feminine. You hear the cats in the background. He sees what a real divine feminine looks like or what a real divine feminine is. Honor the journey in reverse. Told you. See, she's not a real divine feminine. He says that she's a Jezebel who is willing to use children to try to trap him. And then when she got caught stealing from a real divine feminine, then she tried to blame it on the child. And like, she doesn't love that child. That child was an attempt for her to anchor herself into that man's wallet. And then she just used the same child to try to excuse herself from stealing from me. What are you doing? Joke. What a clown. Your divine masculine says, now I know why she had just come across you. This girl really needs to catch her karma. She really needs to learn her lesson. Yeah, and often God sends me as karma. People either underestimate me or they realize why they shouldn't. And either way, they catch hell for it. Not because I wish that. Frankly, sometimes it's kind of obnoxious. Because on the flip side, it's like, why do all these toxic people keep... Because I'm the only person who has the balls to call them out and the strength and capacity to do something about it. And so I finally hand them their karma on a silver platter. They finally have to learn their lesson with me the way that they got away with it with other people. Yeah, this shit doesn't fly here. End of discussion. God sent me as karma. God hid me in plain sight. You really thought you could pull the wool? You really, really thought. You really thought wrong. So there's that. Hilarious. You heard that. I call out crooked... It's Divine Masculine repeating my words. I call out crooked judges and crooked lawyers. You think I won't put you out on Front Street? He says, I love that one. Being very serious. He says, I know, that's why I love it. Also, you're funny. Yeah, but I'm being dead ass. He says, I know, that's why it's hilarious. Well, thanks. I'm glad you got a kick out of it. I'm being called to drop the mic right there, darlings. Please remember to pray, do no harm, take no crap, and I will catch you on the next one. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, and I will link any relevant context in the description box below. Namaste and blessings. Toodles. It's 5:54, 5:55 here on the clock on the East Coast.